very special guitar. You know, I saw Neil Young when he played that benefit in Calgary. Happened to be in Calgary, the one he did a couple of years back. The sort of the Fort McMurray, you know, called it Hiroshima and all that. And he was doing a benefit for the First Nations up there to have clean water and whatnot. I don't know if you recall that. It was in the news for a while. And you know, anyway, it was a great show. It was just him. And he had all these guitars lined up, and he'd pick up this guitar and he goes, you know, Johnny Cash gave me this guitar, so I think I'll play a song. And he did, you know, Needle and Damage Done. And he goes, Stephen Stills gave me this guitar. You know, Moses gave me this guitar. Whatever, dude. I love Neil Young. He's my Moses, but sometimes. This one was my very, very first guitar. It is a Fender acoustic guitar. I bought an E. Jesson. It says the sticker's still right on it. E. Jesson Limited, 67 6th Street, New Westminster, BC. I paid almost $90. It is made in Korea. I wrote one gun on this guitar. I wrote just about every hit that this band is known for on this guitar. Wow. That's all it's done. It's never been recorded. I think this is the first gig in, you know, since the 80s that I'm gonna play. But I thought, hey, you, I'll treat you nice. I'll let you out of your little cage. So this next song I wrote, and it became a hit, and it became a hit again with another band called Hootie and the Blowfish. And I can tell you a little story about that if you like. Hootie and the Blowfish, they were a frat band. They were going to the University of Southern Carolina, and we used to play this place called the 930 Club in Washington D.C. all the time, and they would come and bug us, steal our pizzas and our beer, and you know, and they said they played all our songs and all REM songs. I'm like, yeah, I guess piss off. You know? And then they went and sold 20 million records. But they did do one of our songs, so that was nice. And they turned it into a hit in the 90s, and it paid for my house, so that was also nice. But I'll tell you a little story, and this is kind of an inside music business story, but I think you can kind of follow along with it. Hootie and the Blowfish did I Go Blind in 1996. It was a B-side to one of their songs, and then it became on the Friends soundtrack. And it was on the Friends soundtrack on the condition that it wouldn't be serviced as a single, but the band was so hot that radio picked it up, and it became a big hit, and we got a nice award for it down in Los Angeles for one of the most played songs in 1996. It was the very day that Frank Sinatra died that we got that award. It's kind of weird, but I got to meet what's his face, Smokey Robinson and Dick Clark. Actually flooded in on them, and then I went. So maybe I didn't really meet them, but I was there. Steve Miller, a whole bunch of cool people. It was like I was in a dream. Anyway, so this is kind of an embarrassing story, but I love telling embarrassing stories because they're really funny. It's like Courtney Taylor said, if it's not fun, it's funny. That's the only two options you ever get. So, 96. So I did this, we went from Warner Brothers in Los Angeles to Sony in Toronto as record labels, and we got an excellent record deal as far as, that was the time when people used to buy records. Remember you used to buy records and CDs and stuff? That earned me a living. So I wouldn't have to come here, no kidding. I did this interview with this guy in Edmonton, and I just had got the news that the United States weren't going to release our record, any of our Sony records. They said, no, we're not into it. And we had signed for the world tour. We were locked down. Nothing was going to ever happen. We got released in England, we got released in Canada, and it's a long story, but there was a guy there that didn't like us he used to be at Warner's and didn't like us, and whatever. I can go into that. But point is, I was really angry and really bitter, and in like 2 minutes after that, I got that call that it's never going to happen, you're not going to get your Sony records released in the States, that I got this call from, to do this interview for the Edmonton Sun or whatever, the tabloid. And I don't know, the question that every Canadian band gets asked in those days was, why aren't you breaking it in the States? You know what I mean? Middle finger just goes roaring up. And so, I don't know. And I was like, well, who cares, right? The only reason why you make it in the States is to get money. And is that really why you make music? You know, so you can be big and you know, and all that? And I was like, yeah. So, anyway, I just lashed out, right? Like, Americans, they don't know nothing. They wouldn't know good music if it hit over the head. And it was all that during that CanCon thing, like I alluded to in a joke earlier, right? And I don't know if you know about Canadian content rules, but essentially, it's about 20 or 25% of music that commercial radio has to play is Canadian music. And I was like, are you telling me that out of 10 songs or 100 songs or 1,000 songs that a radio station in Canada has to play, that the bottom 20% can't be good enough to be Canadian? You know, like, that's ridiculous, right? It's a subjective thing, art, music, and it's like, you know, it's like, this is a stupid thing, right? And at this time, I'm digressing, but who cares? Playlists were decided by big companies. You know, conglomerates of radio stations would dictate playlists all through the 90s and early 2000s to every radio station that was owned in North America. You know, these chains of radio stations. Anyway, I just went, Americans, they don't know nothing, music, right? And you know, my cousins, I have a lot of cousins who are American. My wife was born in Los Angeles, so I mean, I say that with first-hand knowledge. So, anyway, I did that interview like, fast forward, I did that interview in like 94 or something with Trusted by Millions came out. Fast forward, the guy, this journalist, what a dick, he parked it, right? He just, I just keep that. Fast forward, we're opening in the arena for Hootie and the Blowfish. Right, they took us on tour. All the arenas and stuff, it was fantastic. They're really good guys, super friendly guys, and really treated us well. And then, you know, we started the tour in Ottawa. It was called the Corral Center at the time. It's where the Senators play. I don't know what it's called now. It's Canadian Tire or something like that. Keep bringing Canadian Tire because I get paid to say that 3 times a show. Canadian Tire. Done. You got that, right? So I get it in Canadian Tire money, though. So Phillips screwdriver, here we come. Yeah, so I'm just going off in a million tangents, and you can all leave if you want. I don't really okay. The tour started in Ottawa, and they came in the dressing room and said, you know, the song is "I Go Blind." I think you're aware of this. And so they said, well, who's going to play the song? Because they made it a big hit in the States. They made me for 2 or 3 years rich with that song. And but it's our song, and they were fans of us. That's why they brought us on the road. So Brad, the bass player, this is where he comes in handy. He said, well, he goes, we'll play it tonight, the first night, but then you're going to play it every other night because the headliner gets paid more royalties get paid to the writers of the song. And it's significant money, right? When you're playing for 20,000 people, there's a fee that goes to the writers of the songs that get played. So they laughed, they thought that was awesome. So it's like, okay, you guys play tonight. So we're up there opening for Hootie and the Blowfish, and we're playing I Go Blind. And their road manager wasn't aware of all of this. So he runs on stage trying to pull us off stage, because it's a big insult, right? We're playing one of the headliner's hits, like, you don't do that. So he's trying to get us off the stage. And the guitar player in Hootie's trying to grab him to get him off the stage. He's like, no, it's their song. We told them to do this. And he's like all confused, and I don't know what's going on. Okay, is there something wrong? Anyway, that was funny. So we all had a good laugh on that. The tour goes here and there and everywhere. And then we're in Edmonton, okay? This is 2 years, or 4 years even. I think it's 2 years after that, my bitter tirade of Americans after getting told our record's not going to get released in the States, ever. And I took it out on every American I knew. Smart idea. And so we're opening the show, and in the Edmonton Sun, he writes, he verbatim quotes me. And some sort of headline like, you know, dude from 5440 slags American even though he's opening for Hootie and the Blowfish. And it just went on about how I think Americans are dumb, and this and that, they want music, and it's money, it's all they care about. You know, I'm crying in my Cheerios, the whole thing. And so it's like, I was just mortified. I saw this in the paper because, you know, in the writer in the dressing room, we get the newspaper, and I know they do too. And I was like, oh man, this is really, really bad. So I go and play the show, and I put on a brave face, and I do the best I can, and we get off the stage, and I'm just sitting in a corner, and, you know, the bass player says, don't worry, man, it'll be okay, you know, and all that sort of stuff. And that's what he's good for. And so then Sonny, who's the drummer, really nice guy, walks in with this paper in his hands. He goes, guys, I got to talk to you. And I was just like, oh. So I said, I am so sorry. I didn't mean anything. And he looks at me all kind of weird. He goes, no way, man. Like, I Go Blind's #1 in the States. You're fucking rich. Look at this. He hadn't read the paper at all. There's a Buddhist lesson in there. Without further ado, I will play the song we speak of. On the guitar that it was written on. Every time I look at you, I go blind. Every time I look at you, I go blind. In the morning I get up and I try to feel alive, but I can't. I don't know what it is, something in me that just won't give it a chance. I think it's that I feel more confused by the deal love has shown me. Little child, did you know that there's a light, and it's gonna shine right through your eyes? What do you think that life is like? Every time I look at you, I go blind. I go blind. Yeah, hey, I'm aware over there. There's a purpose and there's a carefree. In me there's nobody, no one planned, no one stand to be free. I think it's that because I have seen all the fuss, and it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Now hold me, 'cause I wanna get high and higher. Hold me, 'cause I wanna get high and higher. High